Hello, and welcome back, or welcome to Death Design, where we're back after a short hiatus. In this video, I'll be ranking the Friday the 13th franchise from worst to best. This is of course purely based on my opinion, so feel free to leave your rankings below. That being said, let's jump right into it. In 12th place, I have Jason Goes to Hell, the 9th installment. I have a vendetta against this movie, as do a lot of people purely because Jason's barely in it. There's not even a copycat Jason, which is stupid because his name is literally in the title of the movie. But no, this movie follows Jason's spirit possessing random-ass civilians and making them kill people after someone decided to chomp down on his hypnotically beating heart. What the fuck? Anyway, besides that, the Evil Dead connection is cool. In Jason's brief scenes, his design looks cool, but overall, it's not great. This may be sacrilege, but at 11, I have the original. Sure, it's very influential, but it's also boring as fuck. I watch a Friday the 13th movie to see a hulking Jason charging around to kill people, not to see an old crazy woman smile people to death in a Halloween clone, but in a forest. Besides the influence, the best things to come from this movie are the opening to Friday 2, the rest of the franchise, Betsy Palmer's admittedly great performance, and Ice Nine Kills cover of Stacy's mom. Here, I have Part 8 for a few reasons. First is the lie in the title. Jason is in Manhattan for like all of an hour. In this movie, Jason takes a boat, and that's about it. Although it does confirm he swam from Crystal Lake, which makes Freddy vs. Jason even more fucked. The second reason is the god-awful kid Jason and unmasked Jason of the movie. Let's just say you can tell this was the last movie to come out of the 80s, because what in the name of all shit were they thinking? But overall not the worst. Next up, I have Friday Part 2. This was the introduction to Jason, had a semi-competent final girl, and was quite entertaining. The only problem is it's really forgettable for me. I can remember all of 3 characters and 2 scenes. So yeah. Here I have what a lot of people would put in dead last, Part 5. I think it's so stupid it's funny, it had an awesome Tommy Jarvis, and was memorable so it beats out Part 2 already. Yeah, I guess the Roy Burns twist was stupid, but so are most of these movies, so I like it. Also great practical gore effects for a time where the MPAA would cut things up like fuck. In spot 7, coincidentally, I have Part 7, which has a lot of good and a lot of bad. Let's start with the good. Kane Hodder as Jason will always be amazing, as will the frankly astounding look of Jason in this movie, the zombie face. The exposed spine, the chain neck, this is peak supernatural Jason, and I love it. Also, this is essentially Jason versus Carrie, and besides the resolution. The third act of this movie is electric, as we've never seen somebody put up this much of a fight against Jason yet, and I'm all here for it, especially the awesome burn stunts. All of this added to by Kane's gnarly zombie prosthetics that look better than a lot of modern shit even now. But for the bad, most of this movie is running through the woods, which is pretty boring and shitty, and also the ending is pretty shit. I mean, ghost dad rescue from the bottom of Crystal Lake. Why? But this movie is mainly just dumb fun. I like it. Part 3 was the first Friday the 13th movie I remember watching, and it managed to get me hooked on the franchise, so it was doing something right. Sure, the 3D elements can be jarring, but oh well. This was, of course, the movie where Jason gets his iconic hockey mask. And overall, this is a pretty great movie. Alright, top 5 now. And here we have Jason X. I think this movie gets too much hate when there's a lot to love. It's dumb fun. So bad it's good and hilarious to take the piss out of sometimes. So I think it does its job well as it doesn't take itself too seriously. And I mean, come on, user Jason. And for Kane Hodder's final time under the hockey mask, it's a fitting end to the timeline, in my opinion. I have the final chapter next, a great movie that probably feels the most Friday the 13th coded so far. I love the cast from Corey Feldman to Crispin Glover, but again, I'm just slightly forgettable besides that to me. Top 3 now, and here I have Freddy vs. Jason. As a big fan of wrestling and WWE, watching these two horror icons throw down for the first time was a dream come true. All of the stunts and fight scenes were perfect, near enough. Looking at the pinball scene there, But the problem is the characters. They feel very 2003 if you get me. Same with the CGI. To say both of these characters were pillars in practical effects. The film sadly lacks it, and I think it relies too much on CG. And it also saddens me that Kane Hodder could not return for this legendary matchup as he states he wanted to. But as the movie seated way back in Jason Goes to Hell, it delivers on the title, with the designs of both titular characters also being great. At number 2, I have the 2009 remake. This is the scariest Jason has ever been, and I love it. Seeing him leg it at people is so fucking cool, and as a big fan of the show Supernatural, seeing Jared Padalecki is a welcome surprise. Main issue: the over-reliance on sex. This is a very 2000s sex-driven movie that at points feels less like a horror and more like a soft-core porno movie. But if you're willing to look past that, it's quite entertaining and very fun in a lot of ways, including the great gore. And at the top spot, we have Part 6. Need I say more? Tommy Jarvis, Zombie Jason, great on all fronts. That being said, this list was purely my opinion. Feel free to leave yours in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like to support the channel and subscribe to see more like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I see ya.